Hey everyone and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where today it is time to get to work on the trial series for Final Fantasy XIV's Heavensward expansion. But before we begin, I got jump scared coming into the Rising Stones by this man. I will tell you right now, his name is Shrun Tia, X-R-H-U-N Tia. Yeah, he's here this early. And yes, I know he's in the wrong clothes, they didn't have the clothes for him ready yet. But in terms of the timeline, yeah, no, it makes perfect sense he'd be here this early. So that's a fun little jump scare I just got. Also, I am doing an experiment. We are playing on PC again now that I have seemingly fixed the frame drop issues. We're going to see how this goes, and if all goes well, then by patch 3.3, we're going to be running in 1440p for the rest of the playthrough, I hope. We're doing this bit by bit to make sure we don't fuck anything up too severely. Unukalhai, hello. Unukalhai is anxious to act before the Warring Triad awaken. The time has come, Warrior of Light. We must move against the Warring Triad now or suffer the consequences. The seal is cracked and the icons stir. Should they be allowed to awaken and resume their titanic conflict, it will be alike to the coming of a second calamity. You, Sephirot, represent our best hope of eliminating this threat. That said, the very act of entering the containment facility itself presents certain unique challenges. So unique, in fact, that I struggle to locate an individual with the requisite talents to surmount them. Were it not for the impressively diverse connections of your fellow scions, I might still be searching. Happily, however, they were able to furnish me with a suitable candidate. Now, along with you and your Echo-blessed companions, all the pieces we need to proceed with this deadly game are arrayed upon the board. Victory hinges upon no less than the total destruction of the Warring Triad. But we must also wear the interference of those who covet the Allagan's primal harnessing technology. I speak, of course, of the blindly grasping hand of the Garlean Empire and its fumbling agents. The ignorant meddling of the Empire will serve only to hasten the Icon's awakening, and it is my master's desire that the Triad be dispatched before Imperial forces delve too deeply. Being the nearest to wakefulness, the Icon Sephirot shall be your first adversary. Make your preparations and join me on the flagship in Azizla. We shall speak further there. Alright then, on we go to Azizla. Alright, now arriving at the flagship. Where are you, Unukalhai? Looks like down this way? Ah, I see, there's a little pathway leading down over here. Oh, there you are. Hello, Unukalhai. This is the place, Warrior of Light. Here we will find the containment facility wherein entities of incalculable power lie enchained. Their fathomless energy siphoned away by Allagan devices. As I warned you, Sephirot poses the most immediate threat. His dreaming mind drifts perilously close to consciousness. Thus must his destruction be our first concern. Your fellow scions will be joining us anon, accompanied by the uniquely talented individual of whom I spoke. From what I gather, the two of you are already well acquainted. Let us continue inside and wait before the doors to the containment facility. You have not been waiting long, I trust. We are eager to lend whatever cooperation we may to your mission, Sephirot. Hi, Kryl. It is an honor to meet you at last. As I know of only one other Mikote scion, you must be Archon Y'shtola, meaning your diminutive companion is Mistress Kryl of the Students of Aldician, correct? Diminutive? Perhaps there's been some mistake. I assumed it was for my knowledge and not my stature that you requested my assistance. Ahem. The mistake is mine. My apologies if I have given offense. Mayhap it would be best if we proceeded directly to the matter of our objectives. Your adversary is the Icon Sephirot of the Warring Triad, otherwise known by the historians of Allag as the Fiend. He was once the patron deity to a tribe of tree-like beings native to Mericidia, but was subdued by the Allagan Empire after a lengthy war of attrition. After his defeat, he was imprisoned for use as a source of power. Even now, Sephirot is neither truly living nor dead. His mind bound in a dream while his body's energies are harnessed by elegant technologies. The explanation for his failure to dissipate into ether lies in his restraints. These ingenious devices serve not only to bind him, but to continuously regenerate his corporeal form. Meaning it will be all but impossible to banish him while said restraints are in place, yes? Remove them, however, and we risk allowing an unfathomably powerful, and doubtless vengeful, icon to run rampant. It seems we have no choice but to divide our forces. One team must locate the controls to Sephirot's shackles and disable them, while the other stands ready to destroy him at the moment of his awakening. A most succinct assessment, Mistress Kryl. While I was aware that the Echo provided you with uncanny insight, I did not expect you to intuit the core of my strategy quite so swiftly. Ha! If only my GIF offered such a detailed analysis. Which is to say, it doesn't. I merely took it upon myself to learn as much about the Triad's imprisonment as I could before coming here. It will be Satora and I, after all, who enter the Icon's den. Indeed. Given the nature of our adversary, none save those under the aegis of the Echo should be permitted to enter the containment facility. The risk of primal influence is too great. Well, that's that settled then. I will disable the restraints, and Satora and her gifted adventurer friends will welcome Sephirot back to the waking world. Better that than the other way around, I'd say, considering our respective fields of expertise, and of course my diminutive stature. Right, it's time I had a little chat with the doorkeeper over there. Beep! Activating verification systems, lifting access restriction to Triad control. I had no idea the Baldician curriculum was so comprehensive. When we locate the controls for Sephirot's restraints, I shall gladly leave their operation to you. When we locate the controls, mayhap my words were unclear. Only those blessed with the Echo may safely enter the facility. Your concern for my sanity is touching but unnecessary. Suffice it to say, I am in no danger of falling under the Icon's sway. Beep boop! Warning. Verification systems detect multiple unauthorized vessels entering restricted airspace. Security systems engaging intruders. The Garleans. Come, Urianger, we must keep the Imperials occupied. We too should be on our way. Gods, I would be lying if I said I wasn't slightly terrified, but I can't very well leave every deadly task to you, Scions. According to the histories, Sephirot was immense in both size and strength, mighty enough to rout even the implacable armies of the Allagans, and that more than once. To cut a long story short, we have to get this right. I shall do my best not to wake the Icon up too much. As my grandfather always used to say of certain little monsters, get them up and get them moving while their brains are still abed. Alright, let's go over that duty information real quick. Containment Bay S1T7. Sephirot the Fiend was a deity once worshipped by a tree-like race native to Mericidia. Brought into being for the sole purpose of repelling the Allagan invasion, Sephirot inflicted ruinous losses upon the Imperial army, before finally being subdued and imprisoned in the central facility of Azizla. And now, millennia later, this immensely powerful entity threatens to awaken, his vengeful dreams disturbed by the careless ambitions of Archbishop Thornton VII. Topple the first pillar of the Warring Triad, or wheresoever his colossal shadow falls, shall be visited by unthinkable catastrophe. Alright, I'll be back with my party and we will take on Sephirot. Alright, let's do this.
Disabling Sephirot's restraints now. Good luck.
Alright, just gonna wait on ready check is good to go. Let's begin. I guess we're just pulling. We just came off of the tail end of recording the last episode for patch 3.2. Very excited to show that when we get to it. Sephirot, I don't remember being too particularly tough. We've got a stack marker as our first mechanic to be worried about. Not too difficult. We've got raid wides. Not too difficult. It is a normal trial. It is main story difficulty, or at least it's supposed to be from what I recall. So this isn't going to be particularly tough, even though we are on mine difficulty. Speaking of, I always like to check that to be sure, because I've had experiences in the past where I think I'm on mine and something didn't save. Oh, okay, that is just straight up a get behind him mechanic. Got it. Pretty clearly telegraphed, so that's on me for not getting behind him, but good to know. Basically everybody except for the main tank got hit, so I don't feel too bad. And about halfway through the fight, we enter an ads phase. We've got Kakma and a bunch of Binas. You're gonna have to kill all of them, with the Kakma being the high priority for the tanks in particular. If you have any cleaving attacks, they should prioritize hitting the Kakma. And probably a waste of the burst button, but oh well. And we do have a time limit on this ads phase. If his limit break bar hits 100 before it's done, we're gonna be screwed. Thankfully, even on mine, we have plenty of time. And here is Sephirot. The fight begins. We have a knockback coming back from right here, so get close to it. He's going to do several knockbacks in a row, so be close to each of them. He's just going to punch us around the arena, basically. Nothing too difficult. We just want to stay on top of it so we don't get knocked off in a bad direction. Looks like healers have... Oh, those are baited cleaves. Got it. Ooh, shoot. Missed my reassemble. Oops. Yeah, we gotta watch out for those baited cleaves. We want to get close for that one because he's going to do a breath attack. Storm of Words we're going to want to break as soon as we can, while also dealing with more Binas. Oh, crap. When the Storm of Words is broken, it becomes a giant wind puddle. Looks like it is a healer and a DPS pair that gets hit with the baited cones. We're gonna need this Storm of Words at some point pretty soon. Here we go. He's going to be doing a massive sweep attack. And we use the Storm of Words as a stack marker to jump over it. This feels like a get out of the front. Oh no, that's just... this might be a spread, actually. Seems like he was targeting 4 random people with what looked like AoEs. Oh, we got stack markers. Okay, I want to make sure none of those get missed. Sorry, tower markers, my bad. Oh, we got more knockbacks. Oh boy. He's just throwing us all over the place. Ah, I see, and that last knockback's gonna move us out of our baited AoEs. Got it. Alright, more baited cones. Yeah, not too tough. We'll see how he is when we get to the extreme. Well, there's some interesting mechanics in here. Can't wait to see how they take it up a level. We don't need the limit break. Alright, very, very clean fight. You did it! I've seen you in action before, but never against anything that big. My legs kept telling me to run, but I just couldn't tear myself away. I don't think I blinked once during the whole battle. A hero tried and true. If only I had possessed such strength. Ishtola, this is Kryl. Icon eliminated. Oh, if only you could have seen it. Satora gave Sephirot the mother of all rude awakenings. And your distraction was perfect. We encountered not a single Imperial soldier. Yes, understood. Let's swap tales of the Rising Stones then. On our path to the control chamber, we discovered a number of dormant thralls. It would seem the machines that preserve their forms also hold them in a state of torpor. We need not fear them summoning their deity anew. In short, our work here is done, for the present at least. Let's go home, shall we? Your senses are sharp, young one. I am Regula Van Hydrus, legatus of the 6th Legion, and it would seem that that damnable woman and her accomplice have led me a merry dance through the thickest of this infernal island's defenses. To think that I pursued them. I shall withdraw for now, my lesson learnt. I doubt it. You Garleans never learn. You covet the means to enslave primals, but in your headlong dash to control that which you do not understand, you show less wisdom than the very beast tribes that summon them. I have no interest in crossing blades with children. Live, grow strong, and mayhap one day you will warrant my attention. I looked back and you weren't there. Did something happen? Not of consequence. I mistook a shadow for a man. Just what are you hiding beneath that mask of yours? A longing for hope, an appetite for power, a lingering sense of regret. And I detect a desire to test your strength against a certain hero? Is that what your gifts tell you? No, those were just wild guesses, but I wonder if some few of my words didn't strike close to the mark. Or mayhap more than a few. Be at ease, Unokalhai. I have no supernatural ability to read minds. The echo simply allows me to comprehend, regardless of language, that which a fellow being would have me know. You need not mask your heart as you do your countenance. That was a performance then, a ruse to uncover my true nature. I see I shall have to keep my wits about me. I think next time we need to have everyone leave the party before we start the cutscenes. Alright then, back to the Rising Stones. Let's go meet up with Unokalhai and wrap up this step of the Warring Triad. Alright, Unokalhai. Please don't let Regula get to you. The Garleans are no match for us. We'll take care of it. Alright, possibly a weird cut there. We're back on PS5. My PC started having a panic attack in the middle of this cutscene, which was a very, very low stress cutscene. There's not a lot happening in it. So I think that is the end of my attempts to record on PC, which is a shame, because even at 1080p it does look a little bit better. Oh well. Unokalhai, how's it going? So, Warrior of Light, how did it feel to strike down so great a foe? You must tell me more of the experience once our meeting with your colleagues is concluded. Through thine all-surpassing skill at arms, do we now take our first step in ridding this star of the Warring Triad's baleful presence, and in such wise do we lessen the burden bequeathed unto us by the vainglory of Allag. Know, however, that the two icons which you remain are thought equal in might to Sephirot, and may yet exceed him. Ere thou proceed, I would counsel thee to marshal thy strength, and give careful thought to thy preparation. Assuming the Garleans afford us the luxury of time, even now, they grasp for the means to dominate primals, blind to the technology's potential for calamity. My master taught me that the entity known as Sephirot was this world's first sacred tree, elevated to godhood by the belief of its worshippers. There is no power more fearsome than that born of unconditional faith and unbending ideal. 'Tis plain your master found in you a willing student. Tell me, was it he who taught you of elegant technology's potential for calamity, or are those your own words? 'Twas but a figure of speech, nothing more. When last we met, I thought I'd caught a glimpse of the boy behind the mask, but it would seem your defenses are firmly back in place. Must you persist with this infuriating veil of secrecy? I, for one, would very much like to know who this master of yours is, amongst other things. As long as our purposes align, what matter my affiliation? It matters a great deal. I do not ask out of idle curiosity. If we are to fight as comrades, we need to be able to trust each other. On which note, I should apologize for my earlier trickery. It was merely an attempt to get to the heart of an enigmatic companion. Truth be told, I was rather glad you reacted as you did. No person of your age has any business being calm and aloof all of the time, much as you might wish to be. Anyway, we had best be off. Do send word if there are any further developments. And it was like 2 lines ago on Kryl right here where it started freaking out. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. If I'm going to record off PC, I need a 4K capture card, and I don't have one. Which is a shame. A companion now, am I? God, I was literally 2 dialogue boxes away from being done, too. Ah, that's frustrating. Anyways, Heavensward postgame is just turning into a non-stop parade of technical issues, and it's actually pissing me off. Which is made all the worse by the fact that this is an MMO. You can't go back and re-record things or redo things. There is New Game Plus, but that only applies when you have completely finished a plotline. For example, completely finished the Warring Triad. And not everything's included in it, only major storylines. Chapter 1, Sephirot. The Warrior of Light has toppled the first of the Warring Triad. We knew little of Sephirot other than that he was the chief deity of a tribe of tree-like beings. A sacred tree ascended to godhood. Elegant histories discovered upon the events of his destruction, however, have brought fascinating new facts to light. These recordings attribute to Sephirot the ability to induce spontaneous growth in living organisms through the manipulation of ambient etheric energy. It is noted that the icon did not hesitate to direct this ability upon himself. Sephirot grew to gigantic proportions during his conflict with the armies of Valag, using his own colossal limbs to cut great swaths of devastation through their ranks. He was eventually overwhelmed, however, and his abilities contained. The Elegans performed experiments upon the captured icon, siphoning his growth-inducing energies into the cultivation of numerous chimerical monstrosities, one unnatural existence propagating countless others. When one believes one's control unbreakable, however, a single overlooked flaw inevitably leads to catastrophe. I know of at least one civilization that collapsed under the weight of such hubris. Alright, I'm curious what society you're referring to, Unukahai. Next time on Final Fantasy XIV, where are we going next? Looks like we are checking back in with Avoth, and then we're going to take care of some side quests in the Sea of Clouds, is what I'm planning right now. Might change that by the time I get to it. And next week, continuing Alexander. I'll see everyone next time for all that.